Breaking news, just in the last 90 minutes, U.S. Attorney General Merrick Garland says he personally approved that search warrant of former President Donald Trump's Mar-a-Lago estate, adding it was, quote, not a decision he took lightly. In a news conference just again about 90 minutes ago, Garland also said the Justice Department has filed a motion to unseal the warrant, citing substantial public interest. He also blasted threats against the FBI and Justice Department, saying he would not stand by silently while their integrity is attacked. With that in mind, we want to get straight to 12 News Politics editor Ted Nesi.
Yeah, he's been tracking the latest on Attorney General Merrick Garland's announcement on that FBI raid at President Trump's Florida home, as well as the political fallout. Ted, clearly the Attorney General felt he needed to try and calm the waters here.
Yeah, this was an extraordinary thing, Kayla, Brian. But you know, even before this was an extraordinary thing because to serve a search warrant on a former president's home is not something we see every day. It's not unusual for federal investigators to stay silent while their investigation is in progress, but clearly the Attorney General felt at this point this was untenable because of both the high-profile nature of delivering a warrant at Mar-a-Lago, where President Trump lives, but also because the FBI and the Department of Justice have been under massive political criticism from President Trump and his allies, who were kind of filling the information vacuum with allegations of political chicanery. Attorney General Garland clearly coming out today trying to say, no, this is serious, this isn't about politics. And he also, in a way, I think is trying to call the former president's bluff by saying, okay, DOJ is ready to unseal the arrest warrant, which will tell us more about what they got the other day, but the former President Trump will have to agree to that. A judge, just as I was walking on the air, issued a deadline of tomorrow for former President Trump to respond to that. So that's another question. Will we get more information if that is unsealed?
So even with this afternoon's statement, still have very little information right now about what crime federal investigators think may have been committed that prompted all this.
Yeah, that's right, Brian. I was actually talking to Tim White about this a little while ago, and he pointed out even if they unseal the search warrant, there's a difference between unsearching just the return search warrant, which might just say we took these boxes, or the affidavit, which would say what evidence of a federal crime committed potentially by former President Trump, allegedly, the federal investigators think could have happened. What we do know from reports in the Wall Street Journal and the New York Times is that many boxes were taken out of the former president's home, and there was alarm among investigators reportedly about classified information contained in those documents. And of course, we all remember the Hillary Clinton email scandal, which was a similar thing. She had classified information going through her emails that led to a massive FBI investigation. It arguably torpedoed her presidential run. And we're seeing this is something the FBI takes very seriously. The question is, even when you compare to the Hillary Clinton email campaign, email investigation, she was not a sitting president. She had not been elected yet. This is a former president's home being raided, a safe broken into. What we want to know and we do not know is what do they think is in those boxes that was so important to take this unprecedented step. And we just have no way of knowing right now, Brian, when that will be discovered on our part in the public.
When we'll get that.
Yeah, and all right, we'll continue to track all the developments out of Washington and Florida following that FBI search. 12 News Politics editor Ted Nesi, thanks for joining us at 4.
Good to be here.